One day, a young South African sat beside me and asked, "Who are the Zulu people? Are they part of the great fabric of African tribes and nations, or do they stand alone?" Before I answered, I paused. Then I sat him down. Because I knew what he sought was not a simple definition. It was a profound history, one that every African child deserves to learn. Let me state clearly, as I always do, I am an African historian. I do not take sides. I do not allow bias to cloud the truth. Every historical account I convey is factual, traceable, and open to scrutiny for anyone who seeks deeper understanding. It was therefore my honor to teach this young seeker. I began by telling him this: the Zulu nation is more than a part of other African nations. It is, in the deepest sense, one people among many. I speak not as a distant scholar. I speak as a Zulu by birth, yet my heritage does not blind me, it deepens my conviction. If you trace the origins of the Zulu people, you will discover that the nation itself was forged from diverse tribes and communities, many of whom belonged to other nations long before the Zulu kingdom rose. To understand this, we must go back to the founding of the Zulu nation by its greatest king, Shaka Zulu. His story is not merely a chronicle of conquest. It is a lesson in humanity itself. Shaka was the son of Senzangakona, a prince of the Zulu clan. Senzangakona took as his lover a princess of the Langeni people named Nandi. According to tradition, Nandi fell pregnant before marriage. Among the Nguni peoples of that time, this was not permitted. From the moment of his birth, Shaka was marked as an outcast. His earliest years were spent in his father's homestead. But when conflict arose between his parents, Nandi took him back to her own people in Ilangeni. There too he was not welcomed. Rejected and displaced, Nandi and her child sought refuge among the Mthethwa people in the north. This period of exile would shape not only Shaka's character, but the destiny of a nation. To fully appreciate this journey, one must understand the political landscape of that time. Southern Africa was then a mosaic of independent kingdoms and chiefdoms. In the northeast, the Mthethwa kingdom. In the northern interior, the powerful Ndwandwe kingdom. The southeastern region, home to the abaMbo. The interior lands, occupied by the amaHlubi and the amaNtungwa, the latter including the small Zulu clan. And further south, the amaMpondo, the amaMpondomise, and the amaXhosa. These were sovereign entities, each with its own customs, dialects, and allegiances. It was among the Thonga people of the Mthethwa that Shaka grew to manhood. His dialect differed from that of his ancestors. The Thonga spoke with a softer lisp, while the Ntungwa Zulu spoke with the distinctive clicks of the Nguni. He was, in effect, a foreigner in the land that sheltered him. And yet, it was there, under the protection of the Mthethwa king, Dingiswayo. When Senzangakona died, Ndwandwe helped Shaka assume the leadership of the Zulu clan. But fate soon tested him. Ndwandwe was killed by Zwide, the powerful king of the Ndwandwe. In response, Shaka did more than seek revenge. He absorbed the Mthethwa and Ndwandwe territories, transforming the once small Zulu clan into a dominant kingdom. Over time, he expanded his domain further. All those who inhabited those lands, Tonga, Ntungwa, Mthethwa, Ndwandwe, and others, became Zulu. Only those who fled to distant regions remained separate. This is the foundational story of the Zulu nation. A nation built not on ethnic purity, but on incorporation, resilience, and transformation. A foreigner in his youth became the architect of a people. A child born out of wedlock and cast aside became a unifier of kingdoms. In ancient Africa, the stranger was not forever an outsider. He could become a revered leader. That was true in Shaka's time, and it remains a profound truth about the African way. So, what lesson does Shaka Zulu teach us about humanity? He teaches us that Ubuntu, the recognition that I am because we are, has always prevailed. A boy rejected by his own blood found belonging among strangers. And in turn, he built a home for countless others. He teaches us that no person is defined solely by the circumstances of their birth. He teaches us that leadership is not about exclusion, but about gathering the scattered, healing the wounded, and forging a shared destiny. This is the story that the young generations must be taught, not to glorify war, but to understand how to treat one another, with compassion for the outcast, with honor for the foreigner, and with the courage to build a nation from fragments. So, to answer the young man's question, the Zulu people are Africans to the very core. They share ancestral and spiritual connections with all the other tribes and nations of Africa. They are not separate. They never were. And in the story of their founding, born of exile, rejection, and finally, inclusion, lies a timeless truth for all humanity.